What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of Prison Brides, Season 1, Episode 3. I've seen him naked now. So let's get started with Erin and Michael. So Erin and Michael, this is the couple where she flew from Australia to, I'm not sure exactly what state in the United States, but she flew from Australia to America to be with her fiance, Michael, who had spent 8.5 years in prison. And this is the guy that when they moved in together after he was released from prison, he has the night terrors or whatever, where he's waking up in the middle of the night and he is, walking around the house because he thinks that there's somebody in the house. This is that couple, right? So when we see Erin and Michael, they are going to Michael's family's, it was either like a cookout or a family reunion. It was a way for the family to welcome him back home after being released from prison, and an opportunity for the family to meet Erin, who he's newly engaged to, because after he was released from prison, he proposed marriage to her and she accepted. So the only thing that I really want to talk about at the family cookout was when he was holding one of his baby nephews, and Erin tells us that when she sees him holding a baby, it makes her ovaries, scream out. And I'm just like, girl, don't do it. Don't do it. Give your ovaries some Prozac or some Ambien, calm them suckers down. Please do not try to have a baby with this man at any point in the near future and the far future. Please don't do it. She has a child of her own that is in Australia living with his father, and her plan is to eventually bring her child here to America to live with her and Michael. And I'm just like, it kind of infuriates me that she has done this, where she has moved from Australia to America to be with a man, regardless of the fact that he is, just released from prison, regardless of all of that. But it infuriates me because it's going to be more of a hassle now for her child to try to spend time with both parents because she's moved across the world. So there is no like weekend visits with mom or dad or switching off every other week or however they were doing it. Now it's like anytime that he wants to see the other parent, it's some long drawn out process, to book a flight, get on a plane, fly across the world to spend, however many days or weeks with one parent, and then book a flight, get on a plane, fly across the world again to be with the other parent. I just think that that's just really, it's just not right. It's just not right. And she's doing this. She's disrupting her child's consistency of life or security of life. She's disrupting all of this because she has to go be with someone that she doesn't even really know. She's doing this for a man that she doesn't even know. We all know that prison relationships are not real relationships. Whatever relationship you have going on with somebody who's incarcerated, it's not a real relationship because y'all are under some, extremely unrealistic circumstances. You like the attention that the prisoner is giving you while they're in jail. It's because they have nothing else to do. They have nothing else to do. All they can do is give you all of their time and write you 10 letters a day, call you 100 times a day. That's all they have, because they have nothing but time. Now that you are out here in the real world, and instead of giving the real world relationship a chance to see, is it worth me moving to America for? Is it worth me leaving my child behind for? Instead of doing it that way, you just rush into it because you're so worried about the fact that if he's released and you're not right there in front of his face, he might lose interest in you and he might want to be with other people because now he's free. Now he has choices. Now he has options. He's not just stuck with you. Now he's a free man, and maybe there's women out there who would never date a person who's been to prison, but there's plenty of women out there who don't mind giving a man a chance who has served time, but now he's free. Maybe there's less women who would want to date a man who is still incarcerated, but as soon as he walked out of those prison gates, his pool of women, his options increased by like 100 or 1,000 or 1,000,000 or whatever, because now the women that would never have given him a chance while he was incarcerated, now there's a lot of women out there who are like, okay, baby, now you're out. Yeah, let's see what this is all about. Let's see where this can go, because now you're out. So she needed to be up in his face to make sure that he wasn't with nobody else. And that's why she hurried up and left Australia and left her child behind to go be with him. The next time that we see Aaron and Michael, they are at a roller skating rink, because just like the other guy, I think his name was, whatever his name was, Joseph, Michael also loves to roller skate. So she takes him to a roller skating rink for him to have some fun roller skating, which is great. It's wonderful. You know, being in prison, he does deserve to have a little bit of fun. So there's nothing wrong with that. And Michael tells us that growing up, he was never taught how to control his temper. And so this led to him acting out violently, which then led to him being in prison. So now that he's aware that he has a temper problem, now that he's aware that, you know, he needs to control it, hopefully he'll learn some tools to be able to try to control his temper. But, you know, who knows? Moving on from there, let's talk about Jessica and Craig. So Jessica and Craig is our newest couple. Jessica is 29 years old. She's from Australia, but she actually lives in America. And she moved to America specifically to be there when Craig is released from prison. Now, her husband, because they are married, and they got married in prison, her husband, Craig, he's 35 years old, and he is on the tail end of his 10-year sentence. She's an insurance broker. Like I said, she lives in the United States. Greg is serving time for attempted aggravated robbery. Craig tells us that from the ages of 12 to 35, he's only had 3.5 years of freedom. And I've always said, if you want to know how someone is going to act in the future, see how they've acted in the past. So obviously this person has a really hard time, following the law. He has a hard time being a productive citizen, etc. So we'll just see how it goes once he's out. Now, he is a good enough prisoner to where for the past couple of years, they moved him from the regular prison facility to a work release program. So he's able to work full time and earn a living. And he's been able to save up $35,000 in his work release program because he's a welder. So he has a skill, thank God. So he has a skill, and you know, he exhibited good enough behavior to be in the work release program. So hopefully when he comes out, he can keep the momentum going as a welder and continue to make money for her outside of prison. And that's basically it. So the last time that we saw them, she was on her way to go get her man in prison because he's about to be released. Moving on from there, we're back with Seeva and Joseph. So Joseph has just got done serving 11 years. They live in Michigan because she's moved from Germany to Michigan to be with him. So he's finally released. And upon his release, I guess he wanted to stop by McDonald's. So when they get to McDonald's, they're ordering through the drive-thru. And I love prisoners' reactions when they see how much the world has changed from the last time they were free. So when they were at the McDonald's, he was just amazed at the really big flat screens that shows your order when you're making your order. So he was just like, wow, McDonald's got flat screens outside. So that really surprised him. And then after that, they went to a convenience store to get some snacks, and he was surprised on how much everything cost. Yeah, in the past 10 years or the past 11 years, yeah, the cost of living has skyrocketed. And he also talked about the colors. He was just so taken in by the colors of the world, because in prison, all he sees are grays and blues and concrete. So to see how colorful society is, that really shocked him. And I remember on Love After Lockup, there was another prisoner, I can't remember which one, who was also taken aback by how colorful the world was after being released from prison. So they go to a hotel because they're going to spend some quality time together in a hotel before they moved into Joseph's cousin's basement. Neither one of them was looking forward to that. So they're at the hotel, and he doesn't waste any time stripping down butt naked to get into the bathtub. And the camera crew was there. He didn't give a damn. He took it all off. And he got into the bathtub, and he was talking about how taking a bath to him is almost like being baptized and becoming a new person. And he says that, now he like literally is a new person because he's no longer a prisoner. He has to now be a member of society and learn to be productive and law abiding. So we'll see how that goes. Now, your girl Seeva had no problem when he got down to his birthday suit because she was taking it all in. Moving on from there, we have Emma and Curtis. So we met Emma before. Emma is from the UK. She's the one that's going to be she traveled to America. She's going to be traveling to America to get married. That's when we see her. So before her trip to America, she gets Botox, right? And her man, Curtis, he is the one that committed grand theft auto, I think, on his own cousin. He pulled a gun on his own cousin, I think, or I think he shot his cousin to try to steal his car, or something to do with the car, and his cousin got shot. And this is one I had said in my last review. If this person is willing to shoot his cousin, he ain't afraid to shoot nobody. So she's getting her Botox because this is what she does, before she goes to America. And her friend asked her, well, why don't you just wait until he's actually released and then go there and see him? And then go there and marry him. Sorry. So her friend was basically saying, why are you rushing to marry him in prison? Why do you want to have a prison wedding when you can just wait for him to be released and then get married to him after he's released? But no, she's not going to do that because she wants to keep him on that ball and chain after he's released. I think these women are so worried about these men finding other women that this is the reason why they're rushing to get married in prison. The reason why they're rushing to move in with these men as soon as they're released, because I think they're worried that, if I'm not there all up in his face, keeping him under lock and key, he's going to want to be with other people. So of course what her friend says makes too much sense and she doesn't want to listen to that. So another thing that we learned about her soon-to-be husband Curtis is that he has children. He's got 2 kids, and Emma's a little bit anxious about the fact that now she's going to be a stepmom because she herself doesn't have any children. So she's on her way to the U.S. to get married, and after they get married, the plan is for them to apply for a spousal visa, and then she can remain in the United States. Now it's the day of the wedding, and she's in her hotel. She's waking up, like really, really early, and she's getting ready for her wedding day, and she's going to be wearing some white leggings and a white sweatshirt because you know how it is. The dress code is crazy. And she picks up Curtis's mom to take him with her to the prison because she's going to be the witness to the wedding. And she talks about how close she is with Curtis's mom. She says she's so close to her that she almost sees her like a mother, which really blew my mind because Emma has a mother and we met her mother in the last episode. And it seemed like she gets along fine with her parents. So I was like really surprised that she considers a woman who lived all the way in America while she's living in the UK, how she considers her like more like a mother than her own mother who lives in the UK with her. But whatever. So from the hotel, she picks up Curtis's mom and they're on their way to the prison. And when they get there, they go inside. Obviously, the cameras couldn't come in. And she was told by one of the guards that she couldn't wear whatever she was wearing. It was too revealing. Her tights were, her leggings were, they were revealing, and her sweatshirt, it was big enough like to cover her butt, but once she gets to moving, it kind of rolled up a little bit. So she had to come back to her car. She brought a change of clothes, thank God. So she came back to her car to change into some jeans. After that, she goes in, and within 15 minutes, she was a married woman, and it was a done deal. Now she's stuck with this guy, Curtis. We didn't get to meet Curtis yet, but hopefully we'll get to meet him in the next episode. So yeah, y'all, that's my little review of Prisonbrides. The only thing that I can say is desperation. That's the word for the day. Desperation. These women are so desperate to keep these men under lock and key that they're willing to leave their children. They're willing to marry people that they don't really know, move in with men that they don't really know, because they know that once these men are released, who knows what the hell's going to happen? Who knows? And so at least if they're married to them before they're even released, they feel like, at least, they have a better chance of maybe, the man honoring his vows and not, committing any kind of infidelity. Okay, child. We'll see. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video if you like this content. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.